Hi y'all, my name is Marcus Achmand and I am here to do my cultural chest and personal inventory, which is a reflection of the many identities that I have. And I'm going to start on the outside of my chest, which signifies the things that people see me as and how I may be treated by others or how others may view my social identities. And so it's on the outside of the chest because it's what you see on the outside without having to open it. So on the front, I put my name and I also put a picture of people doing many different activities. And this is to show my able-bodiedness. So I am able to, go through life being able to do things like walk and sleep and use my hands. And so I recognize that those are the first thing that people see is they see what I can do and kind of what I look like. And so that's why I put that on the top. On the front, I also put some things to signify kind of where I'm from. And so as you can see, I got the little map of the United States, and I put a little globe to signify that I am a citizen of the world or the earth. And so I think that just by looking at me, you can tell that I'm human and that I am speaking English. So I most likely live in the United States, which is where English is widely spoken. And I also, on this front side, included my pronouns, he, him, to represent my male identity. And I also, on the side, included a picture of me and my fiance, which is also just a reflection of my white cis male identity. And so I thought that was important to point out because that is the first thing that people see. And so I think that is something that as humans we all categorize and judge each other off of. And so I think it's important to recognize. And that is kind of goes with the he, him pronouns. And on the back side, I put a number 29 on my chest to signify my age. I think this is also important because it kind of shows that I am a young adult and I'm kind of what we would consider more like in the kind of like the prime of your life, right? So you move from childhood to early adulthood, and you kind of get to like middle adulthood, and so then like later adulthood, you like start to retire and kind of you see as like you kind of get to the end of your life. And so I felt that 29 was important because it shows kind of the importance of my age and kind of shows where I'm at in my life. And then the last thing I put on this side of my box is my identity as an educated person and a person that has went to college and is now continuing college, getting my MSW from LSU. And so I put that on there because it shows my ability to like speak fluently and understand and kind of be able to like write and function in daily life, but also to kind of show that I am currently in school and going through that process. And then so then that brings us to the inside of my box. And these are things that I put in to show more of my core identity and things that are kind of fundamental to my worldview and position in social groups, but also things that are maybe a little more hidden and may not be known. And so the first thing I'm going to pull out is a rainbow flag. And I put the rainbow flag on the inside because I was kind of conflicted with this one actually. Because if you notice, I also put a little bit of trim of rainbow trim on my outside of my chest, and I also used multicolored construction paper to kind of accent some of my pictures and my stickers. And the reason why I feel that way is because to some, I think that my sexual orientation may be known, and sometimes people may be able to perceive it very easily, and they may be able to assume my identity. But other times, I think, which is the majority of the time, that it is something that is unknown to others, and that is kind of more internalized for me. And so I don't think that unless it's otherwise spoken, that most people probably don't know your orientation. They can assume it, but it's not something that they just outwardly know unless you are communicating it to them. The next thing I put into my chest on the inside is my old rosary that my grandmother gave me for my first communion. And so I put this in here to signify my Catholic upbringing and to signify my identity as of a spiritual person. So although I currently, at this point in my life, am not like devout Catholic or like go to church like daily or weekly, I do still like believe that in a higher power, and I do still profess in some of the cultural aspects of my religious upbringing. So like practicing things like Christmas and Easter and Lent, and holding true to like going through Lent, like, practicing some of the more cultural things that are associated with the Catholic religion. As you can see, I also do have like a necklace that has a cross on it, so I think that is kind of an example. The next thing that I am gonna have in my chest is I put a few like pennies and like some change and a little dollar bill to kind of represent my social economic status, both current and previous throughout my life. So I think that like currently people would probably see me and just assume that like I'm kind of like middle class, and may have some economic privilege. But I think most people probably don't know that growing up, although I lived in middle class areas, my family, coming from a large family, my parents often struggle just to provide us like the basics, and to make sure that like all of our bills were paid and that we had food on the table and like clothes to wear. And so I think that it's important because although your social economic status can be something that is outwardly seen, I think it also has some hidden aspects to it. The next thing I included also was a copy of my old IEP from elementary school. And I included this in my box to represent my academic struggles growing up. So as a child, I had a learning disability, and I also had a speech impediment, and that caused me to have a stutter and also be mute until about actually like the 5th grade. And so the IEP is like a kind of like a reminder of like where I've come and what I can do and how far I've made it, despite my intellectual challenges in school. And then the last thing I have is this book. It's We're Better Together, and it's a kindness and community activity book. And this represents my identity as a social worker and someone who is an advocate for others and a voice. And I think that other people, just by looking at me, wouldn't know that I'm a social worker or that these things are important to me. But internally, these are definitely core like values and morals and ethics that are very important to me. And so that is my cultural chest. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.